Okay, it's Tuesday and it's time for another CAT CT660 project update video. Obviously the truck looks a little bit different than the last time you guys saw the update. A little different anyway. We got the fenders on permanently attached, got the frame reattached, put a brass plate on top of the frame for extra strength since it's being hidden by a fuel tank body. And for all the naysayers and the haters and all the other rest of the idiots who weren't held enough as a child, I just want to bring one thing to your attention, and I'm going to go ahead and get a little closer to the truck. Actually, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to back up and get closer. I just want you geniuses to watch one thing here real quick. You see this? This is a ruler, and it's a straight edge. Get it? Straight edge? Okay. Take a look at that frame. Looks pretty damn straight to me. Now, in case any of you think that maybe your eyes are deceiving you, I'll get even a little closer so that you can see that again up close. Check that out. You see any gaps anywhere? Because I don't. Yeah, no gaps. You know what that means? It's straight, you morons. For all of you who had to point out in the last update video that the frame wasn't straight, well, you see, you would be right. The frame wasn't straight, but I addressed that in the video, but you people were too stupid to listen and actually pay attention to the video. I said very explicitly in the video that the project wasn't done and that the frame hadn't been permanently reattached. So, you people are too stupid to understand that, then I really appreciate it if you wouldn't watch any of my videos and unsubscribe from my channel, because I don't need stupid people like you around causing trouble, because that's all you do. And for the rest of you, you can see that the truck, the frame, it's straight, okay? When somebody's paying me to do a job, you know, a custom project, they're going to get quality work. And I would say that this is pretty quality work. May not be perfect, but like I say in all of my project videos, there's no perfection in anything. So, with that, the only thing left on this truck to do is there's a little bit of a gap. If you look close, and there's a hub still left there that is staying. I think the customer might put the tag axle there. I'm not sure. This is a Canadian truck and they have some different style setups compared to the United States. So that putting a tag axle there wouldn't necessarily look out of place for a Canadian truck. It would definitely look out of place for an American truck. But there's a little bit of a difference in the size of the frame rails that I use to lengthen the frame. So what I have to do is I have to fill in a little bit of a gap down here at the bottom that I'm going to zoom in on one more time so you can try to see it a little bit better. Right in there, there's a little bit of a gap that has to be filled, and once that is filled, then all I have to do is sand this, and it's ready for paint. The fenders are on there, they're bare metal, they got stripped. So we're pretty much ready to go. I'll flip the truck around and show you guys the back. There's a little bit of brass overhanging in a couple of spots that needs to be trimmed and filed and sanded and made all nice and happy and whatever. So that's what I'm going to do yet this evening. The truck is supposed to be delivered at IMCAT's. Not by me personally, but by a friend of mine is going to deliver the truck for me. So the push is on this week to get this truck wrapped up and get it up to New York State for IMCAT's. Unfortunately, I don't think I will be attending the IMCAT show. It's a great show, but the attendance the last couple of years has really dropped off, and I think it's probably going to continue to drop off. There's no real organized model and diorama competition there, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's Buffalo Road's decision, not mine. I'm going to show you guys the top of the frame, and before I show it to you, I just want to warn you, for all of you people who are perfectionists, the piece of brass that I put on the top of the frame is a little dirty, and I'm going to have to clean it up before I paint it. But I don't want you to freak out whenever I show you the top of this frame. I don't want you to freak out when you see a little dirt or a little smudge or a little extra JB weld on top of this piece of brass, because, you know, really wouldn't want you guys to get upset, you know, because a lot of you who have been following this project are so easily upset, which I find extremely entertaining. So what I'm basically saying in short order is, don't make some dumbass comment about how the brass is dirty. I know the brass is dirty. So with that, here's the top of the frame, the brass plate that I added for strength and stability. And yes, I know there's sanding and cleaning to be done. There's the fenders, you can see. You geniuses don't need to remind me of that either. I am well aware. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to show you guys something. I actually made this piece of brass that I put on top of the frame go right to the back edge of the cab, as you can kind of see there. Well, I'm going to take the cab off because it's not screwed in. Of course, you'll notice, for any of you who are really paying attention, that the fuel tanks and the battery box is not on. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull the frame off of here, and you can see, not the frame, I'm sorry, the cab. There you go. There's another thing for you guys to comment on. Oh yeah, Mike doesn't know what he's talking about. Mike's an idiot. Yeah, okay, whatever. So I put that piece of brass all the way across there. And by the way, for any of you who are lengthening frames, stretching them per se, when you're dealing with die cast, there's really only one way to lengthen a frame properly and professionally, and that's with brass or aluminum tubing. Styrene will break. Just a little hint for you guys. I know brass is more expensive and it takes a little bit more intelligence and talent to work with brass. Not saying that I have any, but it does take a little extra. But guess what? JB welding brass or soldering brass, I prefer JB welding brass, is really the only way to go. I'm going to show you guys what I did on the underside of the frame, because I think it's important to show that I cover as many of the bases as I can. What you'll see here is I've added a brass plate on the bottom as well, in between the two frame rails, to clean it up. And I put some struts in between the frame rails, and I thought about doing a little update before I closed it in, but I didn't really want to give away too many secrets. I've already told you guys just now what I did, how I did it, but you guys need to figure out stuff on your own. I don't need to be giving everything away. I've given a lot of information away on other projects that'll probably come back to bite me. And of course, the more I give away, the more you guys can complain about. So, but anyway, it'll be a little cleaning up, some finishing touches to do. But as you can see, now with this particular frame, obviously, because this is a Norscot piece, and again, I am no Norscot fan, obviously. It has a solid frame, which in some ways is good, in some ways is bad. I have all the confidence when I stretched a matte granite frame, and of course I've done several of those. I have all the confidence in the world in my system that it is strong enough and that it will hold up. But of course the matte granite frames are hollow because they're more realistic. The only thing that I can say is, you know, you're going to get more strength out of a solid frame, because the more pieces, parts that you add, the more strength that it gives. I mean, the brass plate that I put on top of this frame, and then of course the smaller brass plate that I put in between, added a lot of rigidity with the JB weld to what was already there, and you could tell. It was rigid before, and it was in good shape before, but it was in much better shape after I added those structural supports. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the cab back on. I'll show you guys that real quick, and then I'm going to show you guys the other side, and then we're going to wrap this up. So this little notch just fits right back in here. Then you just press the cab down, put the hood back down. Of course, it has to be screwed back together, but I'm not to that stage yet. But anyway, here's the other side. You can see it rolls real nice. So anyway, that's the CT660 update for today. And you guys will see this probably one more time when the paint's all done. Just kind of give you guys a little bit of a walk around of what it's going to look like. A scale model walk around, if you will. And an overview of the entire project, just for the heck of it, before I end this. And this is getting extremely long. I am going to just throw this fuel tank body on here so you guys can see, have a little bit of an idea what it's going to look like when it's done. Again, the fenders and the frame will be glossed black, but it'll be a nice piece. It'll be really interesting to see. I haven't discussed with the owner if he plans on putting the tag axle back on up there in the middle. So I won't have. It's possible that, you know, that'll be added after I complete the model. So who knows what's going to happen after I'm done. But like I say, I think it'll be a pretty nice piece. It's been a interesting project. There's been a few redos on this project because of some circumstances that came up a couple different times. We weren't going to add fenders originally, and originally it was supposed to be a lot longer, and once I got the fuel tank body on it, it just looked too long to me, so I had to rework it. And of course you guys have seen that in previous videos. But anyway, it's getting super long. I gotta wrap this up. For all the non-haters and the non-naysayers that support this channel and the Facebook page, I greatly appreciate it. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback in the midst of all the idiots, and I appreciate every one of you taking the time to send me a message or leave a comment or a note or whatever. I do appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed seeing a little bit of this build. Again, you'll see this one more time before it gets sent off, hopefully, unless I completely run out of time. So, thanks guys. Have a great day.